Genesis chapter 45, verses 1 to 28 from the New Revised Standard Version, the Green Bible. Verse 1. Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried out, "Send everyone away from me." So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. Verse 2. And he wept so loudly that the Egyptian heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. Verse 3, Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers could not answer him. So dismayed were they at his presence. Verse 4, then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come closer to me." And they come closer. He said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt." Verse 5, and now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. Verse 6, for the famine had been in the land these 2 years, and there are 5 more years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. Verse 7, God sent me before you to preserve you for a remnant on earth and to keep alive for you many survivors. Verse 8, so it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and ruler of all the land of Egypt. Verse 9, hurry and go up to my father and say to him, thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not delay. Verse 10, you shall settle in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children, and your children's children, as well as your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. Verse 11, I will provide for you there, since there are 5 more years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have will not come to poverty. Verse 12, and now your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, see that it is my own mouth that speaks to you. Verse 13, you must tell my father how greatly I am honored in Egypt, that all that you have seen, hurry and bring my father down here. Verse 14, then he fell upon his brother's Benjamin's neck and wept, while Benjamin wept upon his neck. Verse 15, and he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them, and after that his brothers talked with him. Verse 16, when the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, Joseph's brother have come. Pharaoh and his servants were pleased. Verse 17, Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this, load your animals and go back to the land of Canaan. Verse 18, take your father and your household and come to me, so that I may give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you may enjoy the fat of the land. Verse 19, you are further charged to say, do this, take wagons from the land of Egypt for your little ones, for your wives, and bring your father and come. Verse 20, give no thought to your positions, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. Verse 21, the sons of Israel did so. Joseph gave them wagons according to the instructions of Pharaoh, and he gave them provisions for the journey. Verse 22, to each one of them he have a set of garments, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 sets of garments. Verse 23, to his father he sent the following 10 donkeys loaded with good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and provision for his father on the journey. Verse 24, then he sent his brothers on their way, and as they were leaving, he said to them, do not quarrel along the way. Verse 25, so they went up out of Egypt and came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. Verse 26, and they told him, Joseph is still alive. He is even ruler over all the land of Egypt. He was stunned. He could not believe them. Verse 27, but when they told him all the words of Joseph that he had said to them, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. Verse 28, Israel said, enough, my son Joseph is still alive, and I must go and see him before I die. I'm reading Genesis chapter 45, verses 1 to 28 from the New Revised Standard Version, the Green Bible.